Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crowns in the Woo Woo. How's everybody doing today? I am one of your hosts. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To the side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. Can be found on Facebook. And of course, supporting us from the bottom, as always, Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. How was your holiday?
It was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was very quiet on our end.
Yeah, too. We stayed in. We didn't really have company because the numbers here in New York are so high with COVID. So we just decided to, lay low. But we were with the kids. It was good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I get to spend Christmas Eve, the evening part with my son-in-law's parents and my 6-year-old grandson. And it was an extended family Christmas kind of thing. And then Christmas brunch the next day. There was food for miles. We could have fed the entire caravan of the Three Kings. And my son-in-law's mom put together this 3-foot-long charcuterie board that was just to die for. It was amazing. Oh my God. So very good. So we had a great holiday too. I hope all of you viewers out there had a wonderful Christmas, wonderful holiday. If you would, put in the comments, what was the favorite gift that you gave or received for Christmas this year? What did you get? I want to say hi to Sue Ward Paquin and Ada Diaz-Pillow, who are already here. I know there's going to be a lot more people popping in a little while. So, the way things go, right? Like, comment, share, tag people that you know that might like this kind of thing. We really appreciate you helping us grow into 2022. Oh my God. No! I know it's almost here. Hey, Tracy Paquin, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Trace.
This is the last show of 2021.
I know. It's like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
And Krista pulled the crystals.
What was it?
What is my 1-year anniversary with you guys? I don't remember.
It's in February or March. I'd have to go back and look. Okay. I have it written down. We'll have to. I will.
Oh,
yes, I do.
I don't remember.
I don't either at the top of my head. But I did. For those of you, hold on. And after the show, you'll get a surprise as well. But this is all of 2022's crystals. I
am so excited about some of those crystals that are on there.
Too. And the first one for 2023. Genevieve helped me do this today. So props to Jen. She and actually she was so funny when I first asked her if she'd help me do it. She's like, do I have to? And then she comes downstairs. I have everything all laid out. And she got really into it. I mean, she meditated on it and pulled. So these cards are watching her do it. It really was quite tremendous. And then we pulled 4 extra cards, which are one for each of the seasons or one for each of the quarters, which you will be able to, I'm going to be sharing that out as well. But at the end of the show, something's going to pop into our Facebook group that you all can print.
I'm so excited.
And put it on your fridge. Carry it, put it in your calendars. Line it up with the moons. There are several significant dates. And I'm going to try, maybe after the show tonight, I'll go down and work on that a little bit more. I'm trying to really upload and get information out, crystal related, so that you guys have it. And especially the ones that are in conjunction with a significant moon or significant Wiccan celebration date, because I really think that those are things that we need to start observing nature.
Yes. Yes.
And I really am being drawn and pulled into doing that. So.
All the answers are in nature.
It really and truly is. It truly, truly, truly is. And I have to tell you guys, we have a really big windstorm happening outside. Now, granted, all our cable lines are underground.
Oh, good.
But should I disappear?
She's got blown away.
Yeah. I did. I got blown away.
Shut the window.
The windows are all closed, but I am here. I mean, yeah. I'm like, wow, that's some pretty heavy wind. It's been picking up all day.
Wow.
And so I didn't realize it was going to get as bad as it is at the moment.
Well, if you pop out and go south, that probably means the wind has knocked over a tree and the roots brought the cable up. You know, it could happen. It could happen.
Isn't it a blessing though to have the cables underground? Where I live in my cul-de-sac, we also do. So whenever there's winds or hurricanes or whatever, we never lose power here because everything is underground in my cul-de-sac. So I'm so grateful for that.
I've lived in both areas where it's been, someone is asking where I'm living.
Yeah.
I live in the Netherlands. I live in a town called Landgraaf, Netherlands, which is in Limburg, the southern part of the Netherlands between Belgium and Germany.
And Damaris is in Queens, right?
Nope, Long Island.
Long Island. I always get that collapse between you and Joanne.
We live 5 minutes from each other. Elizabeth Flores and
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
and I'm in snowy Michigan.
And there you go. So see, we are all in somewhere different. So since we're doing a roll call, where we're all from,
where are you watching from?
Put in the comments where you're from.
I would love to see where everybody's from.
I do too. I love to see where people are from. Because you see, I'm from everywhere. So it's like I love seeing where everybody is. Hey Adam from UK.
Yep.
Yay! Adam actually registered finally for StreamYard. I'm so happy because every week he's like Facebook user, and he's so devoted, and he watches us every single week, and I so appreciate that, Adam. But it's always
awesome.
Facebook user, and I got to ask who it is. So thank you for registering for StreamYard. So now you know. Yeah. Now we know. All right, we got Mass.
It's Woburn, Mass. Woburn.
I kind of like that. And then Watertown.
And that's Watertown, Massachusetts.
Oh, how awesome. How awesome. Yeah. Welcome, guys. And thanks so much for coming and joining us today. This is really wonderful. Okay, so let's kind of get into the thick of it. Of it. I've been watching TikTok way too much. Sometimes I get those sounds like stuck in my head over and over and over. Oh my God, it will drive you insane. All righty. So let me think for a second. I just gotta say this one thing before we get into the today's the 28th of December.
Yeah.
I despise the 27th of December.
Why?
Because when I was 13, that's when 12 actually, that's when my mom married my stepdad. And that was the beginning of like 2 or 3 years of living with them and just, right? Never really got along with the guy. And then back in 2017 or 2018, my dog Khaleesi, my Kita, Khaleesi, had developed diabetes, and she was on a very bad downward cycle. And we had to have her put to sleep on the 27th. And then this year, my daughter's husband's dog, we had to put him to sleep on the 27th.
Oh no.
And it's as if the universe has this one day designated for all this crap that happens. This really horrible, sad stuff that happens. So I'm actually okay with that. If it just wants to keep piling it on that one day, I can stay in bed that day.
You're
We're
too
good.
funny,
You
Gayle.
know,
You know
we're
what?
good.
The 27th is a 9. The 2 to 7
Yep.
equals 9.
Completion
Also
number.
ending.
It is. It's all
Yeah.
completion.
Completion. Yeah. Today's
Yep,
a
yep,
9 day too.
Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, let's get going on what we're gonna cover today. Let's see who goes first here. That would be Damaris, wouldn't it? Ha ha! There you go. Woohoo!
Oh, okay. So today I decided to talk about Saturn versus Uranus because that's a squaring that's going around, that's going on right now. So what does that mean? That means when there's a square, there's a conflict. So Saturn represents control, it represents authority, restrictions, right? Uranus represents sudden, unexpected changes that are permanent and freedom. So we have this restriction versus freedom kind of thing going on. We have the authority control versus sovereignty, if you will. So this is so beautiful how the universe, the stars just tell you everything that's going on, and I love to see how it just unfolds. And for me, it also gives me, I wouldn't say hope, but it gives me like this calmness that I know that everything is, unfolding as it should, as it will. Okay. So Saturn also represents tests. We're going through a spiritual test, each of us individually, all of us collectively, right? As humanity, as a whole. But each of us has our own different tests that we're going through. And so the universe is saying to each of us, are you going to stand in front of this test and take it on, grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, or are you going to reject the test? And we can choose whether we want to take on the challenge or we can reject it. The only problem is when we reject it is that it gets harder. The next test that will come around will be harder. So for me, it's like we need to, each of us, I say, we need to take on each challenge one at a time and face it. And really, in order to face it, we have to overcome the fear, right? And so that's where Uranus comes. Uranus says, which is a planet from the, it's a planet that's from another realm, really. It's the planet of awakening. And so the Great Awakening. So Uranus says, don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of walking onto new territory. But some of us are holding on for dear life because we're afraid to jump, so to speak. So the test really becomes whether are you ready? Are you ready to jump? Are you ready to walk on territory, on I would say the unknown, right? So some of us are ready, some of us are not. But the ones that are ready, which will bring me to the 9 number, which is when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about that with the 9. So are we ready for the test that we're being, that's in front of us right now? Our trials and tribulations. All of us are going through different ones. All of us are bearing a different cross, if you will. Some of us, like I said, are going to confront it and not be afraid of what's coming next and just jump. And some people are resisting. They're holding on to this rope, so to speak, for dear life because they're afraid to jump. They're afraid of what's on the other side. The problem with that is that the test will get harder and harder. And so if you're afraid now, God knows what the test will be later. So, my suggestion is jump. And those of us that have jumped already, can sort of like pull like a net for those that are, we're wanting them to jump because humanity wants us together, not divided. We want to be together as one human race. And so we want to help those that are afraid, right? So to speak.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with Uranus and Saturn. One is about restrictions, tests. One is about freedom and walking into the unknown, being fearless. And so that's what the test is all about right now for each of us and for humanity. Do we want to be restricted or do we want to be free? I mean, really, for me, freedom is wings, right? To be creative, to be who we are, to explore all the possibilities of who we are, while being restricted and restraints, we can't. So that's the crucible that's happening to each of us. And again, each of us has a different test. So I don't know your test, I know mine, but really with this information, you know that it's a spiritual test and that you have to jump, because whoever has jumped before you will be there with a net helping you. So you're going to be okay. The 9, which I have to talk about this, because when I looked at that, that squaring, I said, I have to talk about this. Now, in the Bible, it says that there's 144,000 people that came to save the planet, came to save humanity. That doesn't mean that that's all that's going to be saved, but those are the brave ones that have just jumped and said, you know what? Let me see what's on the other side of that mountain, right? And so 144,000 equals 9. 144 is 9.
Interesting.
Isn't that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Coming full circle. 9 holds the energy of the 1 through the 8. It holds everything. It's coming full circle. Yes. And I call that the spiritual, the rainbow warriors too, the 144,000 people that came to just walk the path. You know, when I listen to the number 9 too, with the vibration of it, I think of the hermit in the tarot, which is shining our own light, right? Showing the way to others. The number 9 is also the word love also is a 9 vibration. The word awakening is a 9 vibration. The word rapture is a 9 vibration. Nice. So it's all there, it's all there for us to understand what's happening. And today is a day where you can say, you know what? I signed up to be here at this time during these events, and I am going to jump, and I am going to help the rest of the people that have already jumped, help those that haven't jumped. And so really today is a powerful day just to make that choice. We're in a place right now, which is really a crucible or a crossroad. Are you going to stay, learn harder lessons, or are you going to jump and you're going to see what's on the other side? The unknown can be scary, but it's almost like if you think about it, you're at the top of a building and someone is coming at you with a knife. Are you going to let them stab you? Say, for example, this is just an analogy. Are you going to let them stab you to death, or are you going to jump and see maybe you have a 50% chance of survival if you jumped, or 80? Right? But if you let them catch you on the top of that building, you have zero chance, zero. And so I feel like the whole dynamic of Saturn, restriction, authority, control versus fearlessness and freedom, it's like, where are you going to go? You're at a point where you got to make a decision. Either you stay on the building and let these people attack you, right? Those that are chasing you, that are haunting you. Or are you going to jump to the unknown? It's our choice. And so I'm going to jump, and I'm going to take my chances. And, hopefully I make
it. Awesome stuff. Oh, okay. God, yes.
So how about really rather than thinking of it as a jumping and taking our chances, is it that we make a choice to step up or step into that unknown? And maybe, it's because I scuba dive and I do all kinds of other things, and I'm constantly going into the unknown, that I view this a little bit differently. But yeah, I think for me it's more about a choice.
It is a choice.
You're at a crossroads.
Definitely a choice.
You're not by yourself. So hey, how about this? How about we all hold hands and we make the choice together?
I love it. I love that, because that is what we're meant to do. We're meant to come together.
It's we need to hold hands and say, you know what? I'm going to do this, and y'all come. You're coming with me, right?
I love that.
And we're all going to do it together.
That is what we're supposed to do: is to stick together and help each other. Yeah, you know, you can take whatever analogy you want. I just thought of a building being standing. I just watched the movie The Matrix. And The
Well,
Matrix
yeah,
has
The
a
new
lot.
one? The
Huh?
new one that just came out?
The new one.
Gotcha. Okay.
it's a
And
lot about trust.
it has a lot of symbolism, you know, and
Yeah.
you do have to, you know, for me, it's standing on the top of this building and someone is chasing you. If I stay there, they're gonna catch me. There is no other
Yeah.
way out unless I jump. And
Well,
so
I
for me-
always go with the Indiana Jones analogy of it, you know.
okay, go ahead.
Where he's got to walk across that chasm and there's no bridge. But you take that first step and that stone appears, right? And
Yeah.
it's whether we do it together holding hands or all by ourselves, we have to have the faith to take that step so that rock can appear under our foot to hold us up.
Yeah.
Right?
I like
It's
that too.
never going to show up if we're standing on the side going,
100%.
Where
I
is
doubt
it?
my what? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
no,
that's
it's
what
like
it is.
where if you're standing there waiting for that net to appear,
Yeah.
you may never see it.
Right.
You have to take that chance.
Yes.
And you have to take the belief in yourself.
Yeah. Fearlessness. You know,
It's not in anybody else. It's
No.
believing in you and saying, I believe enough in me that I can do this. I know I can do it. Tracy says it's the third Indiana movie.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, yeah, she'll definitely
She's
know.
not the first because I
Oh,
don't know if I've ever seen the
she's
third, but she's pretty good. She's pretty on top of things with that
But
kind of
you know
stuff.
what?
yeah, she's wicked
But
scary about
I want
that.
to talk. I want to say something about what Damaris just said because she
Yeah.
said the word fearlessly, right? And
Yes.
that's a wonderful word, but I got to pick that one apart because it's not being fearless; it's being courageous. You
Yeah.
can't wait until the fear stops to take action. You have to take action in spite of the
Regardless.
fear, with the
Yeah.
fear pushing you at your back, you know, all of that. It doesn't necessarily go away before you take action. It goes away as a result of you taking action.
That's
Right?
it.
You got what
Exactly.
it said. Courageous. You have to be courageous and walk into
Mhm.
the unknown or jump into the unknown.
Yeah.
You know, let's see what she says. Yeah.
Don't you just love it when a plan falls together?
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
here for you.
But
Okay.
But yeah,
She's gonna go prove her point.
Oh no, she's
so
wicked at
definitely
this.
again the 9 is also equals on service you know, love, service, awakening, rapture.
Mhm.
Also the United States of America equals 99 and 99 is 18, but then it's
Becomes 9 again.
9,
Yeah.
right? So it's like
Mhm.
holy crap, you know. And since we're going through a Pluto return coming in 2022, yeah, it's the United States of America is up for all of these changes and all of these challenges, you know. And who makes up the United States of America is each of us individually, right? Together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
each of us is going through a test. We have to confront it in order to get to the other side. If not, we don't get to the other side and the tests get harder. So yeah, you want to be a service to humanity. You want to jump to the other side so then you can help the others, you know.
Mhm.
Almost
Yeah.
like the what your analogy, Gayle, you know, you got to cross to the other side, you know.
Yeah.
And some of us have to be on the other side to help the ones that are crossing. And
Yeah.
so yeah, let's do this. Let's do it together, like Krista was saying.
Yes.
You know,
Awesome.
we're not here. You know, it was really interesting. Those of you who are friends with me on Facebook will notice in my stories, I'm posting my oracle message, right? And I do it. You know, some people are like, why are you sharing your personal message with everybody? Frankly, I'm sharing it so that I have it. So I can look at it throughout the day. But
Her
the
digital
other
notebook.
The other aspect of why I'm sharing it is because the last 2 days have been very poignant. And I get that they aren't just for me. And one of the things about today was partnership and about trusting and about yesterday was about moving through fear. And then today, you know, partnership. And then there's another one. And but it's three things. And see, this is why I put it out there so I can go back and
right.
Right?
You're too funny. You're too cute.
My
Krista.
brain, it gets all foggy. Welcome to menopause. So any no men, no pause, just fog. But yeah, for me, this whole thing is very, very, I think it relates to us moving, all of us, you know, understanding that fear is false evidence appearing real. Mm-hmm. And ultimately we become afraid of the unknown because why? It's unknown.
But I just want to say, some people, their fear overtakes them and they won't. And
you're right. And that is true.
To cross, right? Or to jump, right?
And it is, or just to breathe. That for some people. So if you're one of those, quick advice, pause and breathe.
Yeah.
Focus solely on your breathing. Count 4, inhale, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and start the cycle all over again. Because what happens is that when fear starts to overcome us, the first thing that it's the fact that we've stopped breathing.
Yeah. Yes. Shallow breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, that is the best thing that I can share.
That's a very, very good advice. Very good advice. I just want to say one more thing before I give it back to you, Krista. So again, the number 9, I just want to say, immortality evolution equals a 99. And that also is a 9. So immortality evolution, which means that when we stop fearing death, right, jumping or crossing that, you know, that lake or whatever you want to call it in the movie that Gayle described, we have to stop fearing death, because ultimately death is just transformation, right? Going into another realm, going into another space, right? The word rapture also is elevating someone to another sphere, to another place. It's ecstasy. So just think about that, guys. And now I'm going to give it over to you.
Awesome stuff. You. That was really good, Damaris. Thank you. Ooh, why are you ringing? I've turned volume down.
Well, you know,
my phone is not listening to me anymore. It's like, I got you.
Well, all right. If it's not kids, it's phones, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So today's crystal of the week is schistite in serpentine, or schistite serpentine, also known as a Tasmanianite. And there's another it's something to do with Atlantis, but it's TM'd. So I'm not going to use that one because it's TM'd. Oh, TM means trademarked.
Yeah.
So this is an awesome stone. I actually own this, and I actually got it as a Christmas present when we were down in Tasmania. So there is, that is not very pretty because the lighting, you can't see the purple of the.
So beautiful.
You can't see the schistite in the
and
purple.
Those two colors are so powerful too, you know.
These two colors are, and I have earrings as well.
Very nice.
I put them
Interesting
on
that you say that they're so powerful. Those are the Hulk's colors.
The what?
The Hulk.
There you
the Incredible
go.
Hulk.
Yes.
The Incredible Hulk, and he is powerful and smart. You know, got to give him props for that.
Got the whole package.
It is. He is the whole package. So actually, this one's kind of. It's really poignant for the week that we have and for the stuff that Damaris shared, because this particular stone is 2 stones combined, right? And it can only be found pretty much in Tasmania. For those of you who don't know where Tasmania is, it's a little island south of, it's a southern island off of Australia. And it is probably one of the prettiest places on earth that I have personally been.
Wow. How do you put that on the bucket list?
I absolutely love. Well, you go. I'm going with you.
Putting it on the bucket list.
All right, I'm telling you, it is one of the most beautiful places.
Ooh.
So, in any case, the number that it corresponds with is 8. So 8 is because it's infinite, abundant, and in growth. So it's a really great number. And the fact that we're approaching the end of the year and we're upgrading, if you think about what Damaris is saying, we're having choices. So you have a choice to upgrade, or you have a choice, you can become yourself 2.0, or you can be yourself, where you're at.
We're going.
I personally am, I think I'm working on 10.0, but that's just me. I'm constantly trying to improve, not because there's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah,
always room for improvement. So, but the cool thing about this particular stone is that it works with both earth and it works with the 2 elements, earth and wind, because it's 2 stones combined. It works with zodiacs Gemini, Scorpio, and Virgo.
Ooh.
Okay.
We have, and I paused to smile since it does work and affect a couple of us present.
Yes.
And
Genevieve, your daughter.
And Genevieve, my daughter. Yes, it does.
And
yes, and one of Gayle's daughters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who our daughters share the same birth date.
Right.
Just a few years apart, though.
Yeah.
But the other aspect that I find really interesting with the way these 2 stones are combined is it is a Kundalini activator. Yeah. Now, Kundalini, I'm not going to go down in a deep dive into what Kundalini is. It is part of the Indian or Hindu belief with the chakras and the practices of chakra. And Kundalini is a process that goes from your root chakra, which is your base, and it goes up and it connects you from earth to source, and it flows, right, and it moves your chakras in the direction that it's supposed to go, if you will.
Yeah.
And so it can be really powerful and a wonderful and a really wonderful tool if you're ready for it. It can also be something that can come into your life and like blow everything apart, but not in a bad way, just in a very like, wow, I wasn't ready for that kind of
that sounds like Uranus.
There you go. And so it does. But one of the aspects to keep in mind whenever you're working with stones and the energy of stones is that you can talk and communicate with the stone and say, wow, what I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with you right now. Can you dial it down? Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, our stones will listen to us probably far better than our kids, right?
Yes.
or our significant others. And it's okay to say, I'm loving the energy, but can we, bring it back about 5 notches? It's kind of like, when you meet me in person, if you ever see me and I'm like, wow, I'm like this big supernova in your face, you can say, Krista, can you just dial it down? I'll be like, I'll try, but it's hard, but I'll try.
You're right. Too funny. You're too funny.
Well, I try to be here for entertainment, at least for one.
I like it though. I like it.
But one of the things that I found really, interesting, because we are in this crossroads, we are in this transition. When you combine 2 powerful stones, take them apart separately, and then you bring the energies of them together, it's a balancer. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a balancer. It doesn't have to just be black and white to be a balancing stone, right? We talk frequently, and I was just looking to see if I had one up here, but I don't. I was looking for snowflake obsidian. It's black and white. And we reference that as being a balancer. But when you have two, you have a stone that's a combination of two that is on. Yes, ma'am.
So what is the combination of the serpentine that you have there? What is the?
It's the schistite, which is purple. So schistite is a purple, and schistite is.
I never heard of that one.
Because it is for love and compassion and forgiveness. And that's why I was going to try to break it down. So the schistite, which is purple, that's in this, and I'll try to take a better picture during the daylight. It gives it. Think of it as it's sending out bubbles or effervescent energy of forgiveness, compassion, love, unity, cooperation.
I love it.
That's that energy, especially when it's grounded with the earth energy of the schistite. So the schistite is green, and it is very grounding.
You mean the serpentine?
Yeah, thank you, the serpentine. Thank you. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I knew. I was like, that's wrong. wrong. So the serpentine, what it helps us do is it helps us to connect with our planetary realm. So it helps us to connect with Mama Earth. And with all the crazy that's going on above us, out there in the solar system, us connecting with Mama Earth, because this is our Earth. We're here to have the earthly experience. We're here. Yes, we're having some help with the planets around us.
You said that, I thought of as above, so below.
You thought of who?
As above, so below.
Oh, yes. As above, so below. Yes.
I was thinking amusement parks.
Really?
Because you don't go to Water World to ride carousels, right? And you don't go to Disneyland to except for Splash Mountain. There's like one water roller coaster to do the water park kind of thing. No. You know what I'm saying? You go to where you're going to experience what it is that you were there to experience. And we're here on Earth. So the experience that we signed up for is the earthly experience.
Yes.
Duality, bilateralism, versus for and against, fear versus love, all of that duality stuff. That's the earthly experience.
Definitely.
It is. And the stones will help us. So we have a couple of people were talking about fear earlier, right?
Yes.
Well, one of the things that the schistite with serpentine helps us with is it helps us overcome that challenge of fear and being able to change it into that courage. In order to overcome what that hardship is.
I love that.
Okay.
It just goes so well with everything I said.
Yeah. It really does. And that's one of the cool things when I start seeing double or stones that have combinations show up. We have a couple for next year. We have some stones. I have to tell you guys, we have some stuff that I have never heard of before. It was amazing watching. Like I said, Jen pulled out some amazing stuff. So I'm looking forward to actually exploring all of that with you guys. But for this year, let's focus on this last week.
Yeah.
In trying to find those bubbles of compassion and love. And think of it as effervescent. Think of it as those champagne bubbles that are going to be poured in your champagne glasses.
Love it.
Right?
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to send out. And think of the green, this anchoring, the serpentine aspect. Think of that as anchoring yourself, being here on Mama Earth and being able to let go, to walk through fear, to use that fear and let the courage, guide you.
I love that. I do.
Because I joke around about all the things that we've done and the moving and all my first time experiences doing stuff. But I'll tell you what, a lot of times it's the courage. It's like, okay, well, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the word we should take on, courage.
Yes.
Courage.
Yes.
And it's really that
Thank
actually,
you,
I have it
Gayle.
on a sticky note somewhere in my,
We should take it on. Because like you said, even we can have the fear, but still have the courage to jump or to cross,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that writer's name? I can't remember off the top of my head, but she had this wonderful talk.
Brene
or
Brown?
book. No,
Brene
not
Brown.
Brene Brown.
No, I was like,
I hear
courage.
Brene Brown's name everywhere. I do.
Well, right now you do. Yes.
No, I just do, and I've never seen any of her stuff.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I've seen quotes and stuff like that. You know, people putting it on a thing. It's real interesting sometimes. Who I feel compelled to like dive into, and who I feel compelled to like stay the hell away from. And there's been a couple of pretty big names that it's like everybody's like, oh, do you do Abraham? No. Well, you talk about, the same stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's probably why I don't waste my time doing Abraham, because I'm already talking about the same stuff. But at any rate, no, this other woman, she has a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Right. And I saw her at a women's conference doing the talk, and she was absolutely phenomenal on the stage.
Wow.
And talking about all of the stuff. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And strangely enough, I only share this to make a point, but you know the guy that wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Total snoozer on stage.
Really?
Total snoozer. Does not have the charisma. Excellent writer. Brilliant man. I don't take anything away from him. But when he gets on the stage, he will put you to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. When he reads his audiobooks too, it's like,
get a very comforting.
His voice is very it's a soothing voice, but if you're listening to gain something from it, I find that when I was listening to his audio, I was like, okay, I really have to focus on what he's saying, because otherwise I just want to go to sleep. Yeah.
I actually saw him in person at a New Year's Eve event at a Unity church. And it surprised me because he was on like at 10 o'clock. People were like,
oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah. But that's not to say that his content isn't absolutely phenomenal. It really is. It's good stuff.
It really is. Yeah.
Really good stuff. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. So
you're ready? Up, girl.
I'm ready. Are we ready? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the card of the day first before I get into this, because of course, as always, everything works together for a purpose, but you're going to be interested to see how this one works together. So today's card of the day is the Devil.
Ah.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Devil.
The Devil.
Okay. So every time I see the Devil, I think of that story about the banana boxes and the monkeys, right? Do you guys know that story? For those of you watching who don't know that story, they would build like these little cages, right, to trap monkeys and put a banana inside. And the space between the bars were large enough for the monkey to get his little hand in when it was open. But as soon as he put his hand around the banana and made a fist, it wouldn't come back through the bars. And the monkey won't let go of the banana, so that makes him vulnerable to capture, right? So that's the story of the monkey and the banana. So every time I see the Devil card, that's essentially the vibration, the energy that it's all about. You've got your hand on something, right? And you're holding tight to it, and you won't let yourself free because you won't drop the banana. Okay?
Wow.
So, according to Galaxy Tarot's interpretation today for this particular card for December 28th, pay attention to what you feel resentful towards or burdened by today. Whatever you're feeling weighted down by, remember, it's something you chose. And also something you can unchoose. Right? Assess whether you want to remain committed to that which you have tied yourself to. It may not seem like it, but you do have a choice, right? So we're going to go cycle back through all of this, right? That Saturn, that authoritarianism, the rules, the restrictions, the things that let our ego think that we're safe because, oh, if we just keep repeating the same stuff over and over, we know how it works. We know what the rules are. We know how much we can get away with. But what would happen if you actually let go of that, right? Let go of having someone else dictate the parameters of your life, right?
I love this.
Yes. And what's there? So this is the perfect segue into what I'm going to be talking about today. Releasing the fear of forgiving. All right. So right? This is perfect because every time I think of the word to forgive, right? So for me, that comes down to forego, to give up, right? To give up my attachment to pain in relation to this memory, right? When we're forgiving people, we are choosing to let go of continuing hurting ourselves based on our images from the past.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But we get scared about forgiving because what's going to happen after we forgive? Right? Does that mean that they get to come back and hurt us again? You know, does that mean that I'm going to be exposed and vulnerable of other people coming at me and hurting me again? Right? The ego goes absolutely batshit crazy, okay? Because it loses all point of reference for what's safe and what's to be gravitated towards and what's to be avoided at all costs. Right?
That also goes back to that card, the devil card.
Exactly. When we release that banana, when we release that thing that's not good for us, but we insist on holding on to because it's safe and it's known, it's literally the devil we know, right? Yeah. How bad is this devil we don't know, right?
Well, yep.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, especially when it comes to forgiving, because it's such a thing that's in our face on this planet, but especially so in America. And especially so if you're one of those people like myself that spends hours a day on Facebook, because the algorithm is just giving us all kinds of reasons to be afraid, to hate each other, to find the differences of opinion instead of the things that we actually have in common, right?
Yes.
And we're being spoon-fed fear, right? Yes. Constantly. Right? And we don't even give ourselves the space to consider, well, what might be possible if we let go of this whatever it is that we're afraid of recreating, right? So when we are able to, instead of waiting for that moment to experience fearlessness, right? I think about it for a second. When have you ever truly felt fearless without any kind of fear at all?
I don't know.
It's an illusion.
Yeah. And we were born
an illusion.
Fear, right?
When we're born, we have the fear of falling. That's the only fear and loud noises, right? Yeah. It's the only fear that we have. And then we're trained to fear all of these other things. Yes. And we experience things and then decide for ourselves what things to fear because of the experiences that showed up, right? Yeah. But when we choose to release the fear of forgiving, you're not necessarily going to feel fearless, right?
Right.
you're going to feel courageous. You're going to feel brave, right? Because you're not holding on to that fear like it's the only branch between you and the Grand Canyon floor, right?
Well, there, that, yeah.
Right? It's that holding on that keeps that in our space so that we can experience what it's like to actually have let go of recreating the cycle over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Lucky Saturn.
Yeah. Right? And it does. It goes back to that whole the rules, the orientation that we're in, and letting other people dictate what we are allowed and not allowed to do in life, right? Putting other people, putting systems, putting society in charge of our experience of life, right?
100%.
But when we can open up our hand, let go of the banana, release that fear, then there's all kinds of possibilities that open up. Sure, one of them is you could get hurt again the same way by the same person. And like Marianne Williamson says, the worst feeling in the world is not, oh, I've made a mistake. It's, oh, I made the same mistake again.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. But when you can actually let go of that resistance to, I could make the same mistake again. I could be publicly humiliated. People will know. They will laugh at me. I'll be embarrassed, right? And take a step out in courage. Like, we don't really know that's what's going to happen. Let's find out what's possible. What could happen if we just step out in courage?
That's it.
Right?
Yep.
And if, going back to what Damaris said, if we just step up and encourage those around us to release that fear of letting go of what we don't want to recreate. Because it's that not letting go that actually causes that field around us to allow that situation to recreate itself in all of its forms. Like we were talking about. If you don't pass the test this time, it will get harder.
And that's Saturn energy.
And that's Saturn, right?
Yeah, think of that as being like with everything that you hang on to, all you're doing is collecting space junk.
Yeah.
And you're carrying it. And then, and you know how we think it's really cute to put shoes and cans at the back of Just Get Married? Yeah. Well, you have that train too.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't say Just Get Married. It says can't seem to learn.
Something just came to mind, and maybe it's not that the lessons get harder. Maybe it's just that we're more tired the next time around, because
maybe so,
energy that we are, extracting.
It could be that we've blocked our resources, energetically speaking, and it could be just that the test comes at us with different variables, so it doesn't look like the same test.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, it's like, why do I keep doing this to myself over and over again? Yeah, I thought I'd done something different. I thought it changed. Well, but you
forgot to let go of all the other crap.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. There's a song. It's called Let It Go. Let It Go.
Let go and let God. I like that one too.
Yes.
Let it go.
So then we want to step into that Uranus vibe, right? That Uranus vibe of the sovereignty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That I'm in charge of my own life. I am God's co-pilot. God is my co-pilot, right? The creator did not create anything that it requires us to be saved from.
Yeah.
Okay. It just didn't. Everything is a huge playpen for the children of God. All right.
Yeah.
And that in itself, just stay with me here for a second, is the greatest fear of all. Because what is required of us if we take responsibility for everything in our lives. Right?
I love that.
You mean I have to be responsible for my own actions?
Oh, yeah. No pointing fingers, no blaming, no, oh, well, if I wasn't blonde, then I wouldn't have such trouble doing blah, 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 blah. Right up, That is complete bullshit.
Yeah. I like that.
I mean, we have to be grown-ups and actually say, oh, wow.
No, we don't have to be grown-ups. We really don't. We can still play.
Yeah, that's it. But we do have to be.
Yes, we do have to be response-able.
Yeah.
Not to blame.
No.
Not at fault. Mm-hmm. We must be present enough to be able to respond to the present moment from love, not fear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That requires discernment.
It does. It does. And it requires us to remove condemnation from the duality of judgment and just remain with discernment.
Yes.
Right?
I love that.
Yes. Because we get thrown the word judgment a lot. And there's two parts to judgment. There's the discernment, what's right, wrong for my moral compass. What works for me, doesn't work for me. What do I value, not value, right? Yeah. And that extra step most of us tend to trip into that goes, well, if you don't have the same discernments as me, you're bad, wrong, evil, the enemy, the other guys, all of that, and I'm going to judge you. No, I'm going to condemn you. I'm going to condemn you to an existence without my love. Stop it.
Yes.
Just stop it.
Can I just say something? A quick story. I saw a video recently, TikTok video. You like TikTok.
I love it.
A woman on our plane. There was this older man in his 80s. He was eating, so he took off his mask. And she was demanding that he put on his mask, but he was eating, so he didn't. So she literally attacked him. She spit on him. She scratched him. She attacked him. She actually got arrested. This was recently.
Wow. Yeah.
And so what you were saying goes back to that. She was judging him instead of discerning. Instead, her fear of whatever she's going through made her just lose her mind, if you will.
Yeah.
She attacked an 80-year-old on a plane that was eating. And this is where the separation comes in and the fear. And it's incredible.
Right. And it's the funniest thing because especially politics and religion, it goes back to very primal, brainstem, fight, flight.
Yeah.
This is the way my tribe thinks. And if you don't, you've got to die.
Yeah.
Right.
You're wrong.
Yeah. You're wrong. You're wrong for even existing.
That's right.
And people go there and it makes us completely irrational.
Yes.
Because if you're really concerned that person not having a mask on is a threat to your health, why would you get within 6 feet of them to try and spit on them?
Yeah, that's what she did. It's circling around the video. It's circling. Yeah. It just happened recently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for listening to my little rant today about all this.
Great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm glad. But it's time for us to say congratulations to last week's winner. All right. So drum roll, please. Brrr. Congratulations, Adam Duval.
Congratulations.
Adam. You know the ropes. You've been here almost every single episode that we have put together. Reach out to one of us, Damaris, Krista, or myself, and choose which one of the Crones you would like to deliver your prize. So from me, it would be an intuitive tarot reading. From Krista, it would be a crystal reading. And from Damaris, it would be a tarot or numerology reading. And I highly recommend any one of us. But yes, definitely get it done so that you've got the whole freaking year planned out for next year.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the time to win this. So congratulations, Adam. Thank you so much for being a valued listener and watcher here at Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I just want to quickly check the comments. Thank you everyone for being here. Ada, Elizabeth, Tracy, Sue, Adam. Oh my gosh, everybody who's been Allison. Thank you for spending the last Three Crones and the Woo Woo live with us for 2021. All right. And thank you to all of our sponsors and contributors. We have Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. All of us here at the Three Crones and the Woo Woo, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. If you're watching on the replay, please say so in the comments. And we love you very, very much. Have a safe and healthy, happy New Year. And we'll see you again next week.
Next year.
Next year. That's
Yes.
right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.